What's going on, guys? Riddle Beyond here today with another PSO2 video. Today we'll be going over Lilliput Defense Base. This is in reference to the very first one that was released on PSO2 North American servers. As a lot of other longtime players will understand what I'm going through or what's going on in this video. Disclaimer, this is my opinion and opinions of a few others that have been playing PSO2 for quite some time. So you don't have to follow this to the T. You don't have to listen to any of it. It's just suggestions that I'm trying to help you up your game for upcoming content and whatnot. So let's jump into it. So in Lilliput Defense, there's 3 bases. There's blue, purple, and green. There's 6 waves. During these waves, enemies will spawn either in front of you, to the left, or to the right. And they also spawn off to the far left and off to the far right on the sides of the map. Now, be very cautious because a lot of times wherever they spawn, it dictates where their line of trajectory is going to go. Now, some enemies have the ability to kind of jump to towers. They're the smaller praying mantis-like guys. Keep an eye on the towers, because if you hive mind too much, you're going to get in trouble. Hive mind is something that we would mention where everyone's moving together in just one big group rather than splitting on objectives when it comes down to it. I know there's only 3 towers, but get in good habits now because later missions have more than 3 towers, and in some cases you can't get to all the towers quickly. There'll be things blocking you from the towers, as well as different bosses spawning. So like I said, get in good habits now so you won't be almost in culture shock when the harder ones come out. Now, there's panels on the ground that you'll see as you're running through, and these panels you can place either a regular Gatling gun or a photon gun, and you can unlock these by gathering points. These points you get from killing enemies and collecting crystals. Now, some people say don't care about your points too much. I'm going to say just do what you can do to up the overall points of the group. Again, it doesn't really apply to this one, but there are missions later on where having some of these go a long way. Unless you're way in game and you like OP builds, having these points go a long way, because there's certain things and certain cool things you can get from these panels without going too much into details, where it's almost necessary off the bat, depending on what difficulty you're in, to use these items. Now, what can I be talking about? Yes. Anyway, there's that, and in some cases people don't understand when they should be using the base abilities. Now, each tower can be healed twice or be covered with the barrier twice per character. Now, keep in mind, if you use 2 of your barrier bursts on a base, like say if I use green burst or 2 bursts on green base, I can't use any other bursts for that entire match until the next time I run that mission, because you can only use those points. Once you unlock those points, you can only use that ability once. That same goes with the guns you put down on placement. Once you get 5,000 for a photon gun, you can only put 1 photon gun down. Unless you unlock 8,000, you cannot put another photon gun down. These guns also are one-time use, so once they deplete their ammo or their beam, they disappear. And in some cases, in the future, some of these panels will be unable to be used, and you have to pretty much purify them with a certain amount of points. And you guessed it, if you don't have enough points, you can't purify them, and this purification process is very helpful because they create towers that destroy bases. Now, again, this is all coming from me, a few others, based on what you can do to help improve your play. Again, you should only use your barrier burst for a tower when it's being overwhelmed by minions and a boss, because it does freeze the minions in this place. You can use it when a spore starts to grow on the tower. Again, I would say do this only if you don't have enough DPS or you don't think you'll be able to DPS it down versus the HP of the tower, because anytime you see the red dotted lines around the tower, that means the spore is currently growing or is growing on it. And C, if you're a tank build, pull enemies away from the towers. There are certain abilities that you can get hate for enemies around you. You can pull them away from the towers. Just be very mindful of your positioning and position everyone else. Again, start good habits now so you don't get punished later. When it comes to points, if you're running around, pick up crystals. If someone's beside you, pick up a crystal. Everyone should be trying to pick up crystals while getting in position. And don't hive mind, be smart. Even if there's 1 or 2 players sitting back, to keep an eye on the 2 towers that aren't being attacked currently in Lilliput Defense Base 1, it can go a long way. Because last thing you want is enemy to sneak up on a tower and do it. Also, the boss on wave 6 actually launches an attack that looks like a giant seed. If that seed is not destroyed, in some cases it will almost destroy the tower. So keep that in mind. Keep an eye on the boss, keep an eye on all the towers. I know it sounds like a lot, but once you play it a couple of times, you'll get the swing of things and you'll be fine. You become a master before you know it. If you guys have any questions regarding this defense base or any other defense base modes, let me know in the comments below. If you want to discuss, let me know. If you didn't like this and you completely disagree, you know what, let me know. We can discuss that too. If you have any requests regarding content for PSO2, hey, hit me up. I might make a quick little video, but I wanted to do this because I saw a lot of players kind of do some oofs in the North American version, but to be expected, it just was released. But we're in it together, guys. Please be polite to one another and be awesome. Until next time, peace.